Lionel Messi is once again making headlines around the world. From the shocking report that he allegedly turned down a staggering €100 million offer for the sake of his family, to the president of Saudi Arabia's Al Ittihad revealing behind-the-scenes details of their negotiations. Meanwhile, a former French international has launched a sharp criticism of Argentina, saying, "I only feel sorry for Messi." On top of that, FIFA has issued an official statement regarding a refereeing mistake that was said to have benefited Argentina at the 2026 World Cup. And that's not all. Erling Haaland has finally spoken out about Messi's situation in the final. We'll cover all of these stories in today's video. So, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Messi still has a chance to play in the 2030 FIFA World Cup? And if you're a Lionel Messi fan, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the latest news, updates, and stories about the legendary Argentine. He turned down a €100 million offer for the sake of his family. Anwar Al-Hilali, the president of Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad, has revealed new details about the club's negotiations with Lionel Messi following the expiration of his contract with Paris Saint-Germain. According to Al-Hilali, Al Ittihad made a historic offer to sign Lionel Messi after he left Paris Saint-Germain. "We offered him €100 million, but he turned it down because his family wanted to live in Miami." He continued, "What surprised us the most was that he didn't hesitate for a single moment. He could have tried to convince his family, but instead, he chose his family over money. We have nothing but respect for his decision." 35 goals in finals. A remarkable milestone that further cements Lionel Messi's legendary status. According to FIFA World Cup stats, Lionel Messi is the highest goal scorer in the history of final matches, having scored an incredible 35 goals across finals throughout his career. Those goals have come for both the Argentina National Team and his clubs, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, and his current team, Inter Miami. This remarkable achievement highlights the Argentine superstar's ability to deliver when it matters most. Time and again, Messi has risen to the occasion in title-deciding matches, leaving his mark on football's biggest stages and further strengthening his legacy as one of the greatest players of all time. Messi's lead extends not only over his longtime Portuguese rival, Cristiano Ronaldo, but also over the late Brazilian legend Pelé, who ranks second on the list with 31 goals in finals. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo, captain of Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr, sits in third place with 24 goals in finals, scored for Portugal, as well as Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and Al Nassr. The 11-goal gap between Messi and Ronaldo highlights just how far the Argentine icon has pulled ahead in this historic ranking, despite their legendary rivalry spanning nearly 2 decades. A former France international has criticized the Argentina national team, saying, "I only feel sorry for Messi." Luis Fernandez, the former France international, shared his thoughts on the World Cup final between Argentina and Spain, strongly criticizing Argentina's players for their behavior during and after the match. He said that the only person he truly felt sorry for was Lionel Messi. Argentina suffered a 1-0 defeat to Spain in the World Cup final. Messi's teammates delivered a disappointing performance, failing to register a single shot on target throughout the match. The display reflected a difficult night for the reigning 2022 world champions. According to Fernandez, Argentina's players also reacted poorly to the defeat. He criticized their lack of sportsmanship, pointing to several hard tackles during the match and what he described as aggressive behavior toward the Spanish players after the final whistle. Speaking in comments quoted by Mundo Deportivo, Fernandez said, "No, I didn't like their reaction after the match. It was disrespectful. The only person I feel sorry for is Messi. When you see someone at 39 years old achieving what he has achieved in this tournament, he deserves nothing but congratulations." He continued, "Argentina's players did not show the sportsmanship, professionalism, or respect that was expected of them. I didn't like what I saw. You can't behave that way when you're the reigning world champions. They should have projected a completely different image." Fernandez went on to praise Spain's style of play, saying, "Football was the real winner. The football Spain played against both France and Argentina was outstanding. The two finalists from Qatar were exceptional, but Spain showed football at its very best. I didn't enjoy the football Argentina played, and I certainly didn't like what happened after the match. He also praised Spain head coach Luis de la Fuente, concluding, "When your team concedes only one goal throughout the tournament, and you look at how solid Spain's defense has been, the coach deserves enormous credit." One player who really impressed me was Dani Olmo. He had an outstanding World Cup. The way he plays, his movement, and his presence on the pitch are exceptional. Alongside Rodri, he's the player I enjoyed watching the most, and it's fair to say he has now established himself as one of Spain's key players. FIFA has officially announced that Argentina benefited from a refereeing error during the 2026 World Cup. The International Football Association Board, IFAB, released an official statement confirming that Argentina benefited from what it described as an incorrect refereeing decision during the tournament. According to the statement, the sending off of Switzerland striker Breel Embolo during the quarterfinal against Argentina should not have stood. IFAB explained that the second yellow card, which was issued after a VAR review for alleged simulation, was not in line with the VAR protocol used at the 2026 World Cup. Embolo was shown a second yellow card after the referee reviewed the incident and ruled that he had attempted to win a foul by diving. The statement also referred to another controversial refereeing incident involving Argentina during the tournament, emphasizing the limits of VAR intervention. It stated, "Video review cannot be used for that purpose until the decision-making process has been completed." The statement concluded, "VAR may only be used to identify the player who committed an offense that has already been penalized. It cannot be used to review or change the offense itself." Erling Haaland has shared his thoughts on Lionel Messi's situation in the World Cup final. The Manchester City striker said he wanted to begin from a perspective that might sound a little unusual. As a striker, his primary job is to score goals, not to focus on the rules or all of their technical details. However, what happened in the World Cup final made him reflect on something that is rarely discussed. How well do footballers actually understand the rules of the game they play? But what happened in the World Cup final made him think about something we rarely talk about. How well do footballers really know the rules of their own sport? To be honest, most players don't know the rule book in great detail. We play on instinct. We know the basic laws of the game, but many of the finer details often go unnoticed. That's why, when I saw Messi asking the referee to apply a very specific new rule in the 94th minute of the World Cup final, I stopped for a moment and thought, this isn't just the greatest footballer on the pitch. This is someone who understands every detail of the game. Messi was right. The rule is clear. IFAB changed it, and making a hand-over-the-mouth gesture toward an opponent can now be punished. That wasn't Messi's opinion. It was the written law of the game. When Messi appealed for that rule to be enforced, he wasn't trying to manipulate the referee or demand something that didn't exist. He was asking for the correct application of the laws of the game. That completely changes the way I look at the situation. There's a huge difference between a player trying to deceive the referee and a player asking for an existing rule to be applied. Messi was clearly doing the latter. Haaland then explained that, as a young player, he has always looked up to Messi, not only for his goals or passing ability, but also for the way he manages matches and handles the biggest moments. What Messi did in that moment was a lesson. That's what a captain does. He knows his team's rights, and he keeps fighting for them even in the toughest moments. I'm 26 years old, and I know that in high-pressure situations it's easy to lose focus on the little details. Fatigue, tension, and the magnitude of the occasion can cloud your thinking. But Messi, at 39 years old, after playing a match that went into extra time, still had the mental clarity to remember a very specific rule and ask for it to be enforced. That level of composure is something I truly admire. Haaland said the controversy should not distract people from the bigger picture. Messi is the reason Argentina reached the final. That's the reality people shouldn't forget. I watched this World Cup closely, and in almost every match Messi was the difference maker. When Argentina needed a goal, he delivered. When they needed creativity, he provided it. When the game was locked, he found a way to unlock it. Argentina didn't reach the final by accident. They got there because they had a player capable of doing things that seemed impossible, and he was doing it at 39 years of age. That's what makes it even more remarkable. I know how difficult it is to carry a team through an entire tournament. I understand the physical and mental demands, and to see Messi do all of that while still being the tournament's most influential player is extraordinary. That's why I think it's unfair to reduce everything to one controversial moment. Messi wasn't just the player protesting a decision in the 94th minute. He was the man who carried his country from the opening match all the way to the final. That's what people should remember. He also stressed that the final decision always belongs to the referee. The referee saw the situation and chose to let play continue. That's entirely his decision, and I will always respect the referee's authority. But respecting the referee's decision doesn't mean Messi was wrong to protest. A player's job is to appeal. The referee's job is to decide. Both were simply doing what they're supposed to do. Haaland concluded by saying that what impresses him most about Messi is his relentless mentality. Even after winning everything there is to win, he still fights for every detail. Someone with his achievements could easily stop caring about the small moments, but Messi never does. He fights for every decision and for every right his team has until the very last second. That's the mentality that makes him the best. That's why he stayed at the top for so many years. I've learned from that. Greatness isn't just about talent. It's about an endless hunger to improve, refusing to give up, and fighting for everything. Without even realizing it, Messi has taught me those lessons simply through the way he plays and the way he carries himself. Losing is painful, and I understand why fans are emotional and search for explanations. But we also have to separate different issues. Messi was right to make that appeal, and his leadership throughout the tournament was outstanding. Both deserve recognition, regardless of the final result. He showed throughout this World Cup, and especially in that final moment, why he's such an exceptional captain, not only because of his talent, but because of his intelligence, his knowledge of the game, and his never-ending fighting spirit. My greatest respect to him for the tournament he had, for the leadership he showed, and for being right, even in the very last minute of the match.